In a world woven from emerald leaves and sun-drenched blossoms, where the air hummed with the symphony of life, lived two inseparable friends, Dodo and Roro. Their home was a vibrant tropical forest, a paradise teeming with exotic birds, chattering monkeys, and the sweet scent of jasmine. Dodo, with her gentle spirit and curious eyes, found joy in the smallest wonders, while Roro, ever loyal and courageous, was her steadfast companion, always ready for an adventure or a comforting presence. Their days were a tapestry of shared laughter and quiet companionship, their bond as deep and ancient as the forest itself. They understood each other without words, their friendship a silent promise of unwavering support. Then one day, something unprecedented happened. The sky, usually a brilliant azure, turned a bruised, ominous grey. The air, typically warm and humid, grew thin and sharp. Whispers of an ancient, forgotten legend of a white season spread among the creatures, but no one truly believed it until the first delicate flakes began to fall. What started as a whimsical dusting quickly escalated into a relentless blizzard. The tropical forest, accustomed to perpetual warmth, was utterly unprepared. Palm fronds, heavy with unfamiliar snow, drooped low. Vibrant flowers withered under an icy blanket. The world transformed into a stark, silent landscape of white and shadow, a chilling spectacle that stole the forest's vibrant soul. Dodo, whose delicate constitution thrived in the warmth, was the first to succumb to the unexpected cold. A shiver turned into a persistent cough. Her bright eyes grew dull, and soon, a severe cold gripped her small body. She lay curled in their cozy hollow, shivering despite Roro's best efforts to pile leaves and moss around her. Roro's heart ached with every weak breath Dodo took. He tried everything he knew. Warm berries, soothing teas made from common forest leaves, even telling her their favorite stories to distract her from the discomfort. He sang her lullabies, rubbed her cold paws, and whispered words of comfort, but nothing seemed to help. Dodo grew weaker, her fever climbing, her once playful spirit dimmed by the relentless illness. The joyous spark in her eyes flickered, threatening to extinguish, and Roro felt a cold dread settle deep in his own chest, colder than the snow outside. Desperation gnawed at Roro. He watched Dodo, so fragile and vulnerable, and felt a profound helplessness. He had always been able to protect her, to make her smile, but this was different. This was an enemy he couldn't fight with strength or cunning. As the hours stretched into a long, anxious night, a forgotten memory stirred within him, a whisper from the elders' tales. He recalled stories of an ancient, solitary tree, hidden deep within the most secluded part of the forest. A tree said to bloom with magical, healing herbal flowers only once in a lifetime, under extraordinary circumstances. It was a legend, a myth, a desperate hope. But it was all Roro had left. The thought of venturing out into the treacherous, snow-covered wilderness filled him with fear. But the sight of Dodo's fading warmth filled him with a far greater resolve. He had to try. For Dodo, he would face any danger. With a determined glint in his eyes, Roro bid a silent farewell to the sleeping Dodo, promising to return. He stepped out into the biting wind, the snow crunching under his paws. The forest, once a familiar haven, was now a hostile labyrinth. Trees he knew intimately were cloaked in white, their shapes distorted and unfamiliar. The path, usually clear, was buried under thick drifts, making every step a struggle. The wind howled like a mournful spirit, whipping icy flakes into his fur and blurring his vision. He slipped on hidden ice, narrowly avoided falling branches heavy with snow, and fought against the overwhelming urge to turn back to the warmth of their hollow. But each time doubt crept in. He pictured Dodo's pale face, her labored breathing, and his courage reignited, burning like a small, stubborn flame against the vast cold. He pressed on, guided only by instinct and the unwavering compass of his love. Hours later, exhausted and shivering, Roro pushed through a thicket of snow-laden ferns. And there it was, not towering above the other trees as he had imagined, but standing proudly in a small, sheltered clearing, its bark gnarled and ancient. What truly set it apart, however, were the flowers. Amidst the stark white landscape, the tree was adorned with blossoms that glowed with a soft, ethereal light, pulsating with a gentle warmth. They were unlike any flower he had ever seen, radiating a faint, sweet aroma that cut through the icy air. Relief washed over Roro, momentarily making him forget the arduous journey. With trembling paws, he carefully plucked a few of the luminous flowers, their petals surprisingly warm to the touch. He cradled them gently, knowing that these delicate blooms held the key to Dodo's recovery. Roro raced back through the now slightly more familiar, though still treacherous path. He burst into their hollow, the magical flowers clutched tightly. With meticulous care, he followed the ancient instructions he vaguely remembered. He gently crushed the petals, mixed them with melted snow, and simmered them over a tiny, carefully nurtured fire, creating a warm, fragrant medicinal soup. The aroma alone seemed to chase away some of the chill in the air. He gently nudged Dodo awake, supporting her head as he offered her a small sip. Dodo, barely strong enough to swallow, took the liquid. Roro watched, hope mingling with anxiety, as the warmth spread through her. Slowly, miraculously, the light began to return to Dodo's eyes. Her shivering subsided, her breathing eased, and a faint flush of color returned to her cheeks. By morning, though still weak, Dodo was on the mend, the terrible fever broken. Days turned into a week, and Dodo made a full recovery, her laughter once again echoing through their hollow. The snowstorm had begun to recede, the sun peeking through the clouds, melting the white blanket and revealing the green world beneath. One crisp morning, Dodo and Roro embarked on a special journey together. Hand in paw, they walked to the ancient tree, now visible in the melting snow. They stood before it, its luminous flowers still glowing faintly. There, amidst the quiet beauty of the recovering forest, they offered their silent thanks, not just for the healing flowers, but for the resilience of nature, for the enduring strength of friendship, and for the profound gratitude that filled their hearts. Their adventure had taught them that even in the harshest of winters, the warmth of care and the power of natural healing could overcome anything, solidifying a bond that would forever be a testament to love, courage, and the deepest gratitude.